Hey guys, so today I am here with Sharon Rooks, who is a creative director for Power Media Solutions. She's going to be sharing us her insights and experiences on what it's like to be in the PR field. She's helped many clients, such as in music and nonprofits and entertainment, and so many more. How are you doing today, Sharon?
I am doing pretty good. I've been busy this morning, but
Oh my
overall I'm
God.
doing pretty good.
I can imagine, especially being in the PR field, there's so many things to do. So I want you to share a little bit, share a little bit about your story and how you got started with PR.
Wow. My journey. I started off in the nonprofit space. I was a former executive director of a nonprofit organization, and I segued from executive director nonprofit over into public relations and marketing. And that's where I've been for the past 20 plus years. And that's how I started. I really enjoyed, connecting with people, collecting checks, and building relationships. And people, knew me from being a resource. And if you wanted to know something, you reach out to Sharon. She knows somebody who knows somebody, and so it just kind of, went from there. But yeah, that's how I got my start in the PR field, and I've been in that vein ever since.
Oh wow, that is such an incredible story, and it's clear that that's how it kind of like helped you find your voice. And kind of speaking of finding your voice, I noticed that you're going to be a speaker for a entrepreneurship conference hosted by AEL. How did that come about?
That organization last year. I actually went to Detroit and sat on the panel in person, and they found me online because, again, my brand is startups and talking about, the 1099 contractors and all things entrepreneurship. And so when you're able to create that brand and that platform, um, and people start to recognize you as an expert in the industry, that's how that opportunity came about. And so when I was there last year, they loved me from what I was told. So they reached out to me again and asked me to be on the panel September the 3rd to share a little bit more about the 1099 contractors plight. And so that's what I'm going to talk about.
Wow, that's amazing too to know that an organization that they want you back and to keep you happy coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, and you start to build like that connection and also networking. That's another thing too. I also want to jump into based on your preparation for this conference. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone who is wanting to be in this type of career?
Being in the speaker's career or public relations
Yeah,
space.
it could be yeah, PR, or just wanting to talk like as a motivational speaker. It could be if you want to do both.
Okay. Well, one thing that I would share with people is you need to you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know the industry that you're speaking about. You need to know the data. You need to understand statistics. Um, you need to know. You need to become an expert in that industry, and don't be afraid to um, say you don't know something. It's okay. But I would encourage anyone to hone in on their skills, whatever, topic they're going to be speaking on. You need to become, very versed in that thing so that you can speak intelligently about the matter. That would be my one single source of advice and counsel. And once you start, going down that pathway, people will start talking about how well you did, how informative you were, how you were able to connect with people in the room, either on a webinar or in person. And that is how you're able to build that brand where people will want to reach out and book you and schedule you for other opportunities.
Yeah, that is one thing too that I can relate to on a personal level is uh, there have been times like where I've been scared to ask for help, but like I don't know this, so that is an amazing piece of advice too for especially for the younger generations who are trying to look for a career and whatever. It doesn't have to be just specifically PR. But
Right.
yeah, that is great advice. And also too, my I'm also curious too how when you are with a new client, how do you approach like an idea to them? Like uh what is kind of like the general like meeting kind of like when you meet with a new client?
Great question. With all of my clients, we do an assessment. There's a paid consultation that the client takes. That's the first step is the paid consultation. And then once they want to move on to the next steps, there's an audit or an assessment that's done by Power Media Solutions. And so when we get ready, we go through everything that is deficient and we talk about what things are working well. And so, sometimes it's a hard conversation, to have with clients. However, it's necessary in order for us to amplify and tell your business. You have to know what's working well and what's not working so well. And so that's how that conversation takes place. And I'm able to encourage and introduce, best practices and goal setting of how we need to get to the next phase of amplification with their brands.
Oh wow, yeah, that's kind of also too like what I was wondering about, especially with PR. Like, how does the firm try to meet with the client's needs? And could you also provide an example of a previous client that you've helped with that went successful?
Sure, I sure can. I can talk about On Location Memphis. They're a nonprofit organization, and they started out in the festival space, and they changed and revisioned and revamped into um, another direction. And so when you start doing that, of course, that's required a rebrand because people know you from this thing, but now you're doing this thing. And so now we're into making movies and really helping the indie artists generate revenue. That's an educational component that is necessary in everything that we do. And so all of our messaging is going to come from education, awareness, workshops where people can gain the information and in turn make a decision about their donation to On Location Memphis, or their participation in regards to On Location Memphis. So they they did a movie. They Memphis Music Productions is one of the things that they added out of all these conversations. The Tour Club and Memphis Music Bank, all of these umbrellas were birthed out of this rebrand, and it's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. So yeah, that's a good success story.
Yeah, and I'm also really too impressed about how you're able to not just be in one field, but you're able to be different fields of any kind that need P, public relations or marketing. So I'm really impressed by that. And
Thank you. We are
yeah,
full service. Yes, we are a
yeah,
full service, public relations and marketing firm. And that's important. I want to, we need to be a one-stop shop. And most clients, when you do the survey with them, that's one of the things that they do not like about marketing and PR in this advertising world is because you have to go over here to get stuff. You have to go over there
mhm,
get stuff. You have to, but when you are a one-stop shop and the client can be with you and you can do everything, it just
mhm.
makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and and it also to make sure your your business stand out a lot more than the other businesses because you're able to
Exactly.
yeah, you're able to multitask and do different fields. Is there a field that your business hasn't done yet, or you kind of it kind of pretty much covers it?
We're just about everything. I mean, ideation to the web design, logo creation. We can do websites. We do branding, professional headshots,
Oh wow.
storytelling, press releases, brand management. We have print. We can print everything that you need. You need retractable banners, you need rack cards. Um, we can do all of that. We do outdoor advertising, we do radio advertising, TV. I mean, we can do it all. Event coordination, we specialize in red carpet events. So yeah, we do it all. And we have an HR background as HR. So I want to make sure
Uh-huh.
that when businesses are getting ready to scale, that they know how to hire
Mhm.
people correctly. They know how
Mhm.
to do an offer letter. They know how to, if they need to terminate, they know how to do those things, legally so it doesn't, get them in trouble.
Yeah, also too with your background in HR, that is really helpful too because you're also understanding the human side
Oh,
of when it comes
yes.
to work. So and how how to treat people with respect and all of that stuff. So that's really impressive too.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. And it's important. I try to tell people you can't be an island in your business. And
Mhm.
so you can't do everything, you won't be in business long.
Mhm.
And that's a fact. So understanding when to scale, understand how to conduct a proper interview. If you don't know how to do those things and you're not comfortable with those things, reach out to Power Media Solutions. Let us assist you.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that. I think just asking for help is really a powerful tool, and also to learning how to work with other people. Everybody has different personalities, so
Yeah.
learning to work, yeah, that's a very powerful tool to learn. How do you also to kind of diving into that topic a little bit? How did you learn to work with different types of people?
I've always been able to work with different types of people. I am a former teacher as well. And
Oh wow.
so when I taught school, you can only imagine you got, 28 kids in a class, you're going to
Mhm.
have 28 different personalities. And
Yeah.
then that 28 doubles, because you got parents, mom and dad. So you have to be adaptive, you have to be considerate, you have to display empathy, and mutual respect. I think if it's one word that I could sum that up, it would be mutual respect.
Yeah, especially with, everybody comes from different backgrounds and
Yes.
yes. So I find that very, like I said, on the personal level, that's something that I agree with is just treating everybody with respect and just to be kind to each other no matter what.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
agree. Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a pleasure with speaking with you today. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Oh wow! How did you? I guess another question. How did you guys come to meet Henderson Thigpen?
Henderson Thigpen met my husband first, and then he reached out to me when he found out what I did. And
Oh
that's
wow!
how that connection happened.
Oh wow! Oh, that's amazing. So you found out what you did. He's like, I want to work with her.
Mhm, that's exactly what he said. And we've been rocking ever since about January, February of this year.
Oh wow, that's amazing too. When you can also work with someone who is a friend or family on a personal level and help them out.
Right. Yeah, that's how that happened. And he's a great client. And you have to be teachable and allow people to do what it is they do.
Mhm.
So I'm very appreciative of that because I don't go into the mechanic shop and tell him not to use that screwdriver or not to use those
Mhm.
pliers on my car
Mhm.
because he's the expert. He knows how to work on the car. So I need to trust that he's going to do what he is supposed to do and not go in and try to take over. So hint, hint, word to the clients, future clients, prospects, allow people to do what it is they do to get results. Because if you could do it, you would already be doing it. You would be making millions of dollars. So if you're not doing that, you're not a billionaire. Stop trying to
Mhm.
tell people how to do their business.
Yeah, that's also a great piece of advice. But yeah, thank you for speaking with me today. I really appreciate it. But yeah, yeah, thank you for your time. I had a great time speaking
You.
with you. Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, you have a great day. Thank you so much.